Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk Headlines. I am your host Jay, and I want to thank every single one of you for tuning in today to listen to today's developing stories and hot topics. So I was skimming through some news channels, some news articles and websites, and yesterday, which was February 13, 2017, today is February 14, and happy Valentine's Day to all of you, especially those who do not have a Valentine's this time around. Just know that you're special. And actually, personally, don't tell anybody, but I think that Valentine's is a complete sham. It's a money grab, guys. But in the same breath, I'll say it's nice to let your loved one or just people that you hold dear to know that you love them. But that should be something that's done every day. Anyways, folks, today, yes, it's Valentine's, February 14, hip hip hooray, but today I also have a heavy heart. Yesterday, like I said, I was looking at some news articles, and one of them caught my eye. One of them that I came across really stuck with me and gave me a heavy heart. And to be honest with you, I was more angry at the time than I was saddened. But now, out of the heat of the moment, my anger and my sadness shake hands in camaraderie. On February 13, 2017, at about 8:10 p.m. Eastern Time, two girls, one of them Takia Holmes, 11 years old, and the next, Kanari Bowers, 12 years old, they were shot in the head in two separate incidents in Chicago, Illinois. These were completely random events. They weren't connected in any way. Kanari was playing with her friends at a playground, and the address was, let me just check it here, the 1900 block of West 57th Street. And about 30 minutes later, Takia, who was actually in the minivan with her family, when a bullet punctured the minivan and consequently connected with her small little head. Since then, both girls have been in critical condition, fighting for their lives. And the reason why I said earlier that my heart is heavy, and although today is a day of love, it's because today I was informed that Takia succumbed to her injuries, and she actually died in the hospital in the arms of her mother. It made me question where the outrage is for this gross neglect of human life. Actually, immediately after I heard on February 13, yesterday, immediately when I heard that this happened, I messaged a very close friend of mine, and I expressed to him my anger and my frustration and my pain, because I felt connected to these incidences. There was another incident last year with King Carter, a 6-year-old boy. Same incident, caught in the crossfire of thugs, savages, derelict of any reasoning and rationale. Now he's decomposing in his grave. And I asked myself, I said, where is Black Lives Matter? Where are the protests? Where are the lootings? And I'm never calling for lootings, but this is the pattern, looting and destruction. I'm wondering, where are they? I thought I'd never have to ask that question. Where's Black Lives Matter? But now I'm asking and I'm wondering, where on earth are the protests? We hear things like "hands up, don't shoot" in regards to Michael Brown, who was shot dead by police. And people say he was compliant, he had his hands up. Bloody murder. But when that video came out of Michael Brown committing a strong-arm robbery at the convenience store, and I implore you to check it out. It's on YouTube. Very accessible for those who want to see, and the same for those with a opposing disposition. Where is the outrage when two innocent girls get shot and one dies due to gang and gun violence that continually is perpetuated in the streets of Chicago? No. We don't want to waste our outrage on that. Why would we do that? We want to waste our outrage, we want to give our outrage to incidences where a felon is shot by police while the police officer is lawfully placed. That's where we want to show our outrage. Absolute nonsense and garbage. Let's look at some numbers. There were, just for the record, this is Chicago in 2016. These are the numbers. There were 3,550 shooting incidents. 3,550. There were 4,331 shooting victims. 8,300 guns were recovered. That's a 20% increase from 2015, and 10% more gun arrests were made in 2016. And everyone, or for the most part, people may be familiar with the number 762, because that number characterizes the number of murders that were last year. To put that into perspective for you, that's more than 2 murders and 10 shootings on a daily basis. And you know what? I'll tell you why Black Lives Matter isn't out marching and protesting with the same vigor as they did for Michael Brown, for Takia Holmes, who died to a stray bullet. Because if they do that, they would have to march more than 2 times daily for the entire year. It's way too much commitment. And besides, there's no one to be mad at. Only when the anger can be directed to someone other than their own community is when they march. When it's convenient to march. This is what I feel is a curse of victimhood. Eternal victimhood. Lack of accountability, lack of responsibility. And every time that this lie of victimhood is told, it undoes the work and the strides made by the incredible civil rights leaders such as Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks. Their movements had merit and truth. They were propelled through time with truth and resolve. These movements, as we call them nowadays, are perpetuated and propelled through hatred. Self-hate redirected. Folks, when you can be crucified for saying the phrase, you know what, when you can be crucified for saying any phrase, like you see a lot of individuals on the right being victim to. But when you can be crucified for saying a phrase all lives matter. When you can be crucified and thrown to the wolves and the lions for saying the phrase all lives matter, when you can be thrown under the bus for saying that, that is a good indicator of a polarization in society that will inevitably explode and implode into widespread hatred and segregation like we see today. And you know what? While the left, mainstream media and all of these social media activists behind the cause of Black Lives Matter are awaiting the next police shooting to analyze it and analyze the intricacies of the officer involved shooting with nothing more than a chip on their shoulder and zero context. While they're doing that, young and beautiful girls like Takia Holmes and Kanari Bowers, these two girls who have never had the opportunity to experience life, they continue to be nothing more than an expendable statistic. I'm saying King Carter right now, you don't know who that is. And next year when I say Kanari Bowers and Takia Holmes, you're not going to know who that is. But when I say Michael Brown, when I say Trayvon Martin, you'll know who those are. Because you choose the importance. You choose the lives that are important. And this is rebuke, this is stern rebuke to anyone who supports that cause, but fail to protest with the same vigor or even at all for these two innocent young girls. This is nothing more than intracommunal genocide. Until you fix it, until you take accountability, you damn the youth, you damn the new generations to the same fate as these girls. Thank you for tuning in today. Remember to make it your objective to be objective. Have a good night.